Tyrese just shared a very hood relatable story. I'm the type of person, these things never happen to me, and I'll elaborate in a little bit and give examples in my childhood of the two reasons I wanted to talk about this. Let's just say that in 2022, before I give my two reasons to you all, let's say in 2022 his mother has passed away. I'm not here for condemnation, though if condemnation comes in my comment section, I understand. Because for us to heal the hood, we are going to have to accept the stuff that we've done, either out of selfishness, desperation, or both. So in a little bit, the article will pop up. There are things that because we're vulnerable, okay, we will do because a parent or both parents told us to do. When I reported, like example, the 11-year-old boy who was not black that hurt and helped unalive an 8-year-old boy in Georgia, the mother was not black. So this is hardly just a black issue sometimes. Although I'm just going to focus on the hood because I know somebody gonna come in my comments, well, all races do stuff like that. No, we need to just specifically address the hood, okay? Tyrese made a confession that his mom would have him and his brother pretend to be mentally incapacitated in thought process in order to get extra money for the family. Given the time that he grew up in, because of the desperation, I don't agree that you should put your kid through that. But at the same time, when they say desperate times call for desperate measures, this is what parents are going to do. The article particularly saddened me because she only had her sons do it, but not her daughters. This is typical hood stuff. When you want money from the government, you want to go ahead and tell some fibs about things. As a person that never grew up benefiting from welfare directly, and I say that loosely because my grandma had food stamps back in the day, but my mom would rather pawn stuff than us to be on welfare. Welfare was not an option in my household at all. But I'm not knocking people who needed it. I just have an issue with people who abuse it. Well, basically, he was saying they got $700 a piece when he and his brother would play dumb to help their mother secure the money. And you guys have to, girls have to go read the article if you can. The way in which he says they would strategically come up with how they were going to tell the lies, absolutely astounding to me. Let's not lie to ourselves, okay? Again, when you have a single parent, they'll do these desperate things. But this is just absolute hood behavior on a level that's just sad to me. Okay? So what we're going to do right now is just go ahead and go into the two reasons that I don't like this. And again, if this gets back to a certain type of people, this isn't an indictment on what his mother's done, although it's not something I don't think a parent should do. Given Tyrese's age and the lack of opportunity for a lot of Black Americans at the time, this is just the stuff that people resorted to. I'm here neither to condone or condemn. Neither am I telling the people in my comment section that they can't condone or condemn, because I can understand why. But I'm going to use this story merely to piggyback off of an actual conversation about the hood. Here are my two things. Number one, the way in which she did this, particularly with her black sons, is evidence that our parents in the hood, some of us, not all, got off on asking our children to dumb down our intelligence, which to me further spurs all of the stereotypes people have against us. It doesn't give them the right to stereotype. But given what's going on with young black men right now and books being written, it saddened me that she lowered the boys to that level and not the girls, because given the time we live in now and our understanding of the crises with our young men, such as the laws that incarcerated large amounts of black men and that K-12 prison pipeline, we know that a price was paid for having our young boys down and doubled down on their intelligence, or pretending to have none at all. She got fortunate to have a son who traveled the world and acted and is lauded and gets awards. In a good chunk of our cases as foundational black Americans, this isn't how things turned out. I understood even when I was growing up and Ebonics was starting to take on a huge amount of significance in the culture in the 1990s. I never tried it with my dad because I knew not to try him like that. Ebonics was banned in my mom's house. You spoke proper English because you lived in the United States. Her thing was, without saying, you're not going to you're not going to play down your intelligence to get anything in life. Doesn't mean you need to throw it in people's face, but you can't downplay your intelligence because that's what this establishment expects you, coming from that FBA community, to do. In this article, when the social worker tries to give, for example, Tyrese the puzzle, you gotta go read the article, okay? And he plays dumb like he can't do it. He was being taught a manipulation skill that's just not good for kids to have early in life. This story bothered me on a lot of levels because we all knew somebody, even if it wasn't happening in our household, that did stuff like this in the hood to get money. And we don't think about the harm this is going to cost most later on. Because after a while, when you're comfortable with playing down your intelligence, it doesn't matter how smart you are after the fact. If you've done this for too long, it can greatly affect you later on. This also segues to my number two and a big problem, particularly amongst single mothers in our community. This also never happened to me, but I've known of it happening to people. In the hood, you get to be between 16 to 18 years old. You want certain things, particularly 18 to 20. Really, let me change that. And you find out your credit's bad. And at some point, it comes out that when your parent, and this is most of the time a single parent home, okay? Most of the time, it's one parent that does this. You find out that their credit is so bad that they put things in your name before you even got grown. So you already got credit repair by the time you're 18 to 20 years old because their credit went bad. So now they done put things in your name and you wasn't even old enough to consent to it. Don't act like this don't happen in the hood. And if you want to play stupid today, get off my channel. It's just this diminishing return where we're hurting our own children when we've already hurt ourselves. I have only known of stories of people this has happened to, but we know that all of us know somebody, even if it happened to us. The trauma that follows this later on, because you can't provide your family anything better, because this is what hood parents do. Not all, but a significant amount, enough of them will do stuff like this. There's a diminishing return of some of the things that we do to our children in the hood that at the time seemed like the way out, but it's really caused a lot of harm. This woman is passed away. I'm not here to condemn her because I just don't like attacking the dead, but what she did to her sons is a symptom of a lot of things going on now. She dodged a proverbial bullet and had a son who's successful that could make their lives better later on. But as I've said before, this isn't the norm in the hood. Do any of y'all remember people like this with a mama and daddy, or one or both, particularly the single mother, because that's what happened most of the time, did this to their child? Put something in their name or had them dumb down their intelligence so that they can gain something for the family. Because see, we're all ashamed to have this conversation about this mother-son bond. Like the sons become the men in their life that abandoned you, and so you need that boy to step up and be the man. Which could play into the reason the mother used the boys instead of the girls in this story. There's a tinge of truth to that. When are we going to have this conversation of unhealthy relationship between these single mothers and one or more sons in that house that had to be a man and grow up too early? Anybody else sees this as unhealthy? Because I certainly do.